Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. Do you know who I am?
Here come all flat balls, look like Necco wafers. He got pancake black balls to side, dead pancake balls. He got ball down to his knees. Walks in with his flat balls, he can do what he please.
Why not? Let the whole thing run for the hell of it.
Who's gonna get in this guy's way?
No, just the oddity of it. You just get out of his way, step aside when flat balls comes through.
Well, you know me. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. Who's that over there? You heard him talking for a second, but he hasn't sat down yet. He's walking out of the room and coming back in.
It can't be.
Oh yeah, there he is. Polka dancing his way across the room. Look at him go. A cloud of dust.
Like Pigpen.
Pigpen. I was thinking more like Tasmanian devil, but
Yeah,
you could
more
go
like
with Pigpen.
Pigpen.
Okay. Put your hands together for Nick Pollock. There he is. There he is. There he is. Nick, welcome to the show. Having a beverage.
Yes.
Very
sorry.
inopportune time
Yep.
to take a drink.
Yep. You think
as you're
I'd
being
know?
introduced.
I think I'd know better
All
after
that
600 episodes.
Polka dancing makes a guy thirsty.
That's true. That's fair.
I stay hydrated in this unseasonably warm temperatures.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
dog days are upon us.
No kidding. Oh, tell me about it. Dog days. They're here. It's unpleasant.
It's unpleasant. It's sweaty.
It's sweaty. I feel like I stink every day. I used to be one of those people who very rarely had body odor. It's a daily thing now. I don't know. A switch went off at age 38, and I just sweat and stink now every day.
It happens quicker and quicker as you get older.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah. I used to be like, man, I haven't taken a shower in 2 days. I smell fine. No one's going to know.
I bend down to pick up something after I take a shower. I got to go back in there.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know where you got the smell from. Could be from anywhere. Oh, and over there, who's that? Right to Nick's direct right. Who's that on the couch?
Succumb to my power, my age, and my weight. All of which are considerable.
Put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium. That's Chris L. And we are here for another episode of Pot of Thunder.
What episode is this? Do we know?
431,
Goodness
I believe.
me.
Holy shit, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How did that happen?
Pretty sure that's accurate. I was thinking about that today. It's been, 8.5 years already?
Yeah. That's a long time.
Absolute insanity. Abject idiocy.
Over 600 hours of Pot of Thunder if you want to marathon it.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
That's like
And people,
that's like soap opera levels.
and people have done it twice, maybe 3 times. That's up to 1,800 hours.
I don't even know how many. I'd have to do the math on how
That's
many
like-
days that is, but oh my goodness.
That's got to be a couple of months right there. I don't know.
Yeah, Lombardozzi messaged me earlier saying he's re-listening to some of the past episodes. I simply replied back, nothing better to do. Huh?
Well, people seem to enjoy it on the second and third go around, so
Yeah, and
I'm happy to hear it.
It's funny. Once in a while, I will get a private message from somebody commenting on an early episode. Mm-hmm. Just kind of getting the feel that we were a little different back then.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think so. I could see that.
Well, I would like to think that just naturally there'd be an evolution over 8.5 fucking years.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully better, but also I'm sure different. Hopefully.
Well,
different.
it has to be different.
I think it's more in attitude, I guess, or just the overall chemistry, the attitude, which is the result of the chemistry.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. But I think early on you're trying to figure out who does what and who's who's
Yeah,
filling in
that's
which
true.
gap of whatever to make a complete program.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
plus early on, we didn't think this was going to last beyond 10 episodes,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And here we are.
The funny thing is, we never put in any more effort.
They put in.
Well, why?
We put in
would you?
less.
We put in less.
What would be
and
the
it's still
point?
rolling. Yeah.
What would be the point?
No, I'm not knocking it. It's just amazing that it's sustained itself for that long.
Far less effort now.
Yeah, it's better that way. I prefer it this
Is
way.
it? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it feels better.
Well, things should get easier as you go along. If things are continuing to be a laborious exercise, you should probably abandon that thing you're doing.
There's got to be a certain deadline where you just pull the plug, right?
Well, we've talked about that before, like, whether it's Anvil or the fucking local band that just won't quit. It's like, just stop already. There's got to be a point where you just, it's not worth it.
What if Kiss puts out another album?
Well,
What if there's
Is this a rerun?
What if there's a surprise album?
Oh,
it's
okay.
not going to happen.
This is a re.
I thought this was a question from the first 10 episodes.
What if they put out another album? Then we have to.
Oh, that's what you mean. Then
We have to. We have to.
go back to Kiss.
I don't think so. We stopped being a Kiss podcast a long time ago.
So we
We're not
wouldn't be obligated.
beholden to that nonsense. Plus, they're not going to do it. First of all,
they won't. I
they're
don't think.
it'll be they're not interested in doing a full album, and they don't seem interested in just doing a la carte material other than the gimmicky whatever that thing they did with the
Scooby-Doo?
J-pop
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Scooby-Doo thing, but like legitimate Kiss material, they're still stuck in the past where we've got to put out a 12-song album, otherwise it's not worth it, which isn't true, but the good news is we don't have to worry about it because they're not doing it.
There you go.
Besides, we've moved on from that anyway.
Yeah, they're in our rear view mirror at this point. Except Nick was going to
Exactly.
go see them, what was that, September 4th or 5th?
Still supposed to. They rescheduled.
I was going to
it
ask you,
for
what's the rescheduled
I
date?
think the 16th of October.
That's pretty soon. I was wondering if it was going to have to be rescheduled for an indoor venue based on temperature.
Yeah,
but
I
you
don't
can
know.
pull it off October outside.
Might still be 80.
No
October
kidding.
16th, the way things
Yeah.
are going.
Yeah.
I'm planning on working on a shirt
Working
to
on
wear
a shirt.
to wear to the show.
You want to tell us about it?
I don't know if I should.
You don't have
Maybe
to.
I'll wait
Just-
and just see if it works first.
Okay. If it's a success, then you can share it with us.
If it's a failure,
Well,
I'll share it
I was gonna
even quicker.
I was
Probably.
going to say I'd rather hear about the failure. What am I thinking? So Nick just made some noise with some bags over there, and that makes me wonder if maybe, just maybe,
Yeah, this is in the oven.
oh yes,
Time for a baked treat. Baked treat.
okay. So this week's baked treat is a moist pumpkin muffin with a cream cheese filling.
Jeez.
Delightful, dense,
And-
small but dense, and I know because I ate 1.5 of them already today.
And then one of your little ones shared it with
Sure,
you.
yep,
right?
yeah. Well, she got half. We were supposed to each have one, but you know how that goes. She got the dad tax on her muffin.
Yep.
I couldn't leave it alone.
Andy described it perfectly.
Yep.
And it's an American flag paper.
Which is very appropriate because
What do they call this? Is there a name for the thing that's on the cupcake?
I
Didn't
just
we-
call it I just usually call it a holder.
is this another rerun? I swear to God, we
We
had
probably
this
do.
conversation.
I don't remember what
this
they're
summer
called.
we had this conversation. I
Well,
think.
that's something else that old people do. They just, repeat themselves, ask questions that were either answered previously or nobody cared to answer them, and you just ask the question again. So
Yeah, like that old lady in Billy Madison, where she keeps talking, then she says, "Is anybody listening to me?" When they're on the field trip, nobody's listening. Yeah, I try my best, but I don't remember which stories I've told to who. So
Yeah,
I'm
I,
like,
I do that all the time.
which makes it really hard to lie.
yeah,
So I can't lie anymore.
that's something else that goes away in your old age.
I got nothing.
It's a young man's game,
It
as
is.
they say.
Keeping track of lies. Who can
But,
remember that?
pathological lying. Just takes too much effort.
Like the Nick's friend who had a helicopter in his garage.
Right, yes.
I can't
exactly.
imagine he's still weaving that.
He might be in too deep. He couldn't get out of it.
So if I ever see him again,
You have to ask
it's gonna all come rushing back to him. Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, you mentioned the American flag cupcake tin liner, I guess, whatever it's called. Nick and I are learning from talking to Matt Black that the obsession with pumpkin spice flavored items does not extend to Australia.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we're trying to get it launched over there. We might have to make Jones Brothers canned pumpkin.
That's
That might be coming soon.
yeah. It's if any Australian listeners, please let us know if you ever seen a can of canned pumpkin in the wild.
Yeah, because
I'm being led to believe that it's not possible to find one.
because they're what, like $1.99 maybe here for a can.
Yeah,
Can of what?
Canned pumpkin, like the
Oh.
pureed pumpkin.
I've never even seen that.
No, you never noticed?
No, I don't pay attention really, but I've never heard of that.
Well, the story is Matt Black bought two for what, $25 Australian?
whatever that converts to, I don't know.
I think that's like $400 American. I don't know. And then it was canceled on him, so he didn't even get it. They said, we had a distribution issue or whatever it was. We overestimated our inventory of two. We actually have 0. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, so I looked it up, and it looks like it's either a baking cup or a cupcake liner.
Okay.
And
Cupcake liner works.
I looked it up on Amazon, and so let's see what a 1-star review of a cupcake liner.
What could
might
possibly
be.
go wrong with a cupcake liner?
Here we go.
Right away you found one.
Yep. Second one from the top.
Amazing.
1-star headline: shorted 50 liners.
Oh well, that could go wrong.
There are not 500 in the pack, only 450.
Wow.
I constantly buy 500 packs of liners, and they are grouped in 20 clusters of 25 each. This only had 18. I opened the pack to double count the clusters, and there are 25 per cluster. Where are the other 50? Some might not notice, but I did and want what I paid for.
Wow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really impugning the quality of the
No.
cups. He just got screwed on the quantity.
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be some
Yeah,
issue with the
that's-
design or with
That's not quite in the same league as terrible customer service. It's
Yeah.
like we want to know about the product.
Apparently, this is a chronic problem.
Uh-oh.
A few reviews down, 1-star, count shorted. I will not order again, as it seems both sleeves have been shorted. One has 17, and the other has 18 sections.
Come on, man.
I ordered 2 sleeves of 500 each. I should have 1,000 liners. 28 liners to a section times 35 sections
Gee, oh my
is only $9.80. I paid for 1,000.
Man, oh
I could
man.
buy at the same price in the store. Not a good offer. Save your postage.
Man, that guy sounded like, with all the math going on, like he was down to the minute. He calculated exactly when they were going to arrive from the train coming east.
a word problem.
Yeah.
It seems to be a
Yeah.
big problem with this particular item, but I'll do a third one.
It's a great scam,
It's
actually.
that's
Who's going to count that many?
Well,
that's what
it's
they're
like
thinking.
what we talked about with like Big Macs or Hostess fruit pies, just a little bit smaller, give you a little less to stretch their profit out. But this one is about the quality. 1-star headline: this was a bad purchase. The cupcake liners were cut out in a bad way. Half the package is useless.
Wow.
Terrible.
Yeah, these people are getting shorted on quantity.
Here's one Chris will enjoy. 1-star review. Too small, just like regular muffin pan liner, not jumbo. Too small, not jumbo.
Not jumbo.
Nobody's gonna be sharing a jumbo with
No.
those cupcake liners,
No,
right?
not enough to share.
On their new bedspread, I believe was the line. Anyway, let's get down to business, shall we?
Sure.
What month is it?
Oh
What's going on here?
Does anybody have a calendar? What month is it? Oh, come on now, give it to me. Tell me what month.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is September.
I got a very nice compliment on that sound clip.
You did?
The other day.
From
yeah,
who?
From Mr. Aaron Green.
Oh, Aaron's the best.
Told me it sounded like the guitar with the wah pedal sounded like something off of the first Portal for Pyros record.
Great
I
compliment.
thought,
Yeah,
wow,
it could
I'll
be-
take
yeah,
that.
that is a good compliment.
I might have to change my song for the week.
Aaron
Another-
Green has known hearing problems, but a good compliment nonetheless.
known his hearing problems are known
Yes,
renowned.
throughout the greater Calgary area.
Now, now Andy's going to pick Black Girlfriend for his song this month.
There you go. I'm sure that there's some horniness in that.
And there is.
But yeah, that September, that might explain the sultry, moist air that's permeating this area. You know,
could
might
be
have
it.
something to do with it.
The muffins are a little more moist than they probably deserve to be.
You know, I saw something on the news today. It said Nicholas is moistening more than Louisiana.
Truer words have never been typed.
That's good.
Whatever. Stupid. So it's September. We're celebrating Songs of Horniness, and it's my turn. I didn't even look if this is on the listener submission list, so give me 1 second to look just in case. But as I look,
See how many weirdos there are.
I'm going to say none. I'm going the route of both of you, meaning I don't think. Well, I guess.
Well, Chris's was
Chris's
on
was
there.
I
on
was
there,
I
Nick's
was
was
pretty
not.
confident mine was going to be on the list. After I chose it, so
Okay. I don't think it's gonna be here. We're there. It's not there.
No.
Nope, not there. Okay. So, before I tell you what the song is, I'm gonna tell you that I thought of this artist immediately
immediately.
when we discussed what the concept for the month is. I
Sure,
thought-
right.
Yep.
But still,
Yep.
you know,
Interesting.
I thought, ooh, that's a good one that I like a lot.
good artist you like a lot.
Yep, good band, and I was hoping that one of their songs would come up at some point. But I'm looking at the list now, and nothing by them. None of their songs. are on the
Wow.
list.
So not just this song is not on there, but
No,
the entire band is absent.
they're
from the list.
absent.
Wow.
I mean, I thought there'd be one or two. I wouldn't expect it to be like, the Black Sabbath section of our listener submission list, or Judas Priest, or whatever,
Yeah.
where there's, several dozen. But
That's very interesting. I just right now with what you've told us, I have no idea, but many things rushing to mind.
okay. Well, I thought of this band. I thought of the album. And even at this moment, I am conflicted on which song to choose. I know which one I'm going to choose, but I mean, I kept going back and forth like, oh, do I want it to be where we focus on lyrics? Because if so, it would be this or this song. If it's like a musical thing that also fits the theme, it might be this or this song or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm going with the hit. I'm not
hit.
going deep.
Nothing
I'm
wrong
going
with
with the
that.
hit.
Okay. Is this something where we should all be familiar with?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, I know Nick has heard it. I think it was of a certain time.
Oh wow.
I'm not saying that.
The intrigue is just mounting.
I'm not saying it doesn't have staying power, but it's not like Led Zeppelin. So you'll see.
All right. Well, this is interesting because Andy is a deceptively horny individual. I mean, just looking at him, especially in recent years, you automatically assume he's more of a eunuch type character these days.
The T is dropping.
I've personally witnessed it when his horniness gets triggered, and it's something to see. So, like I said, he's a deceptively horny individual, so hopefully this will bring some of that bubbling to the surface, and it'll be palpable to the listeners.
All right. Well, we'll see if that happens. I hope I don't lay an egg here. But without any further ado, let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Hamill. This one's called
Danger High Voltage.
Off of
Fire.
by the band.
Electric Six.
Ow!
Anything? No?
I've never heard of the
I,
band or the song or the album.
I believe
Okay.
we discussed them briefly. I know.
You and
One-
I are
I-
on Pot of Thunder.
No, I think just maybe messaging each other
Okay.
a while back.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there's one song I know for sure, and it might be this one. I don't think so.
I think you're thinking of Gay Bar.
I'm thinking Gay Bar.
Gay Bar's for sure one.
That's the one that I definitely
I know you know that, yeah.
And I think I know another song. I don't know if it's this one though.
Well, this is the hit, as I said. Number 1 in Scotland. Number 1 on the UK indie charts.
My goodness.
Number 2 UK singles from 2003.
So are these guys still around?
They're still around. They're
Okay.
from Detroit. Detroit
Really?
band. Yep. Started in 96, according to
Ashamed
Wikipedia.
to say I'd never heard of these guys.
This is their first album in 2003.
And how did you become aware of them?
So I was thinking about this because I decided to pick this song. When this was new in 2003, I remember this girl I knew showed me the video on her computer. And I thought, oh, that's pretty weird. It's a strange... I liked it. You know, it was up my alley, especially at the time. But it's a good horny video. It's very whimsical. It might be a little bit over the top for Chris's taste, but that's not for me to say.
Like lyrically?
Everything. Well, the video especially, when you take it into consideration.
But
like
if we're just getting the audio, is it still, in your opinion?
It might be on the line for Chris. The video would probably take it beyond.
Well, we haven't had that this month. It's
Yeah.
been serious rock songs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that was another part. I was going to choose a song by this band regardless from this album. And there's a couple really good, great rock songs that fit this theme. But I thought because we went with 2 rock songs, I would pick this song because this is more of a dance song.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with the range of styles that these guys might venture into. I really don't know.
I would say it was like disco, like dance. Tom Jones is right up front, I think.
Wow.
That's why I also thought of it. With some of the, I don't know about this song, but some of the lyrical delivery, very powerful and
Yeah, 'cause-
very Tom Jonesy.
In Gay Bar, the guy he's just yelling.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to hear how they tackle that style.
Mm-hmm. And then I think there's like elements of maybe early grunge or something, like some kind of dissonant stuff that rocks harder, like Pixies or something mixed in with
Okay.
dance. That's how I would describe if you
Interesting.
pick the whole album apart. But the other thing, it's a duet with Jack White.
Okay.
Not credited, not in the video. When I saw the video, it's a woman miming the Jack White parts, and I didn't know.
On this song?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had no idea that the duet was with Jack White until years later.
What do you know? We were just listening to a song where James Hetfield is in the background singing. So I think uncredited.
Yeah, on the first Danzig album.
Yeah.
Yep, you're correct. So there you go.
My goodness.
When people do that, is that just like don't tell anyone so it'll be a fun little Easter egg, or is it a
I think there's
business?
also record company
Okay.
contractual things that could be violated.
Okay,
Yeah.
like if you're an artist on label X, you shouldn't be on label Y doing something.
Was it the Private Parts, the Howard Stern soundtrack? I think it was LL Cool J did a song, and I think it's completely blacked out, like his name. Like there's just a box over it. I think on the back of the album. I'm pretty sure
For
it's
that
one.
reason.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I know we have some hardcore Kiss fans who would probably know if this is true, but what's the band called? Shandy's Addiction, I think, on the Kiss My Asterix tribute album. They do Dr. Love, and it's like guy from Tool.
Oh, it's like a super group of.
Yeah, I think so. And I think like there were bands that weren't even allowed to do it because of the record company conflicts.
Right. Yeah.
What a load.
And then so I guess they do. They'll go under aliases or go unlisted at times.
It's weird, but whatever. I guess that's the business, right? Get your
Yeah.
exclusivity. All right. So, you guys ready to get into this?
Yeah, I'm interested. The Detroit angle always interests me, so bring it.
Well, first, a word from this sponsor. We'll be right back. Nick, what'd you think?
I loved it. I wish you could play it again, but we have to get to the song.
Yeah, we'll play it later after the song.
Hopefully people don't like that better than they like the song.
You never know.
That was a great commercial.
Really good.
Yeah.
Good production. All right, here we go.
I'm getting a Jamiroquai vibe right away,
That's good.
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing.
No.
That first note, it sounds like he pulled it like 6 inches above the pickups.
Yeah.
Like it really popped.
Well, there's a lot of compression on that guitar, so
Yeah.
really, makes it jump out at you. Not too much though, but it's compressed, but sort of, prominent in the mix. So, but there's a hint of Ottawa on it. Not as impressive as in the September theme song, but it's there. So, funky would be the word that comes to mind a little bit.
And a nerdy thing I noticed on one of the previous songs. This is track 4 of 13. On the first song, that same guitar part is in like the outro of a song as the guy's singing. So I don't know why they decided let's make a whole song out of this thing that we're playing like at the climax of this song.
Yeah, that's interesting that it's skipped 2 songs and then went back to it.
It's yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Fire in the disco. Fire in the Taco Bell. Fire in the disco. Fire in the gates of hell. Don't you wanna know who we keep starting fires? It's my desire. It's my desire. It's my desire. Don't you wanna know how we keep starting fires? It's my desire. It's my desire.
That could be Jack White does sound
He could be a woman
like
there,
a woman
right?
there. Yeah, it's
when I-
believable.
When I saw the video, I was like, "Oh, that's a strange voice on that woman," but that must be whoever that woman is.
That's interesting that's what they did for the video too.
Yeah, I don't know why they made that decision, but
So these guys guys seem pretty, I guess I'll use a word that Chris used about us a couple weeks ago, subversive, I would say.
You think so?
musically. I would say so.
I don't know. It seems pretty accessible to me, especially around the time period. I just think it was, kind of a, almost like an OK Go type vibe to it to me. I don't know. I think around the turn of the century, this music was starting to come back in vogue from after the post grunge and rap rock movement. I think this type of music was coming around the bend. So I don't know. It seems pretty accessible. I think the subversiveness is definitely in the vocals. It's not really like it's going to cross over to Soccer Mom Radio or anything necessarily.
But to have I think there's a bit of I guess I'll just keep saying subversion in the fact that I don't know a lot of the stuff, but I'm thinking of the music for the other song that I know, and it's just like a straight up punk, like 80s punk kind of sounding thing. And then to have a band doing that and then doing this, it's just, it's kind of like they do whatever they want.
yeah,
I mean, subversive in that regard, where it's kind of we're gonna do whatever we want, kind of like Crash Test Dummies a bit. they've got that.
We'll do whatever we
the-
want.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
Yeah.
like I've got an album of theirs where it's just completely off the wall. Like it does not sound like them at all.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
and
it called?
It's called "Give Yourself a Hand."
Okay.
We could listen to it on the way back.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then it lends credibility when a band will do something just completely different. Mm-hmm. I guess it can be where it's too much sometimes,
Sure.
but kind of exciting when a band has a range like that.
Instead of just sticking to their normal formula or whatever. Yeah.
It's our desire. Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch. When we kiss.
There's that Detroit accent coming out there in the vocal delivery.
That's it.
Where was it?
It sounded like some sort of bastardized British kind of a thing.
Now, what are the lyrics? I mean, I'm trying to tap into the horniness here, and I think maybe because of that Detroit accent, which I should pick up on it, having trouble deciphering some of the lyrics.
From the top.
Yeah, sure.
Fire in the disco, fire in the Taco Bell, fire in the disco, fire in the gates of hell. Don't you want to know how we keep starting fires? It's my desire. You say that a couple times. Then danger, danger, high voltage. When we touch, when we kiss. So there's sparks
Yeah, so
between
it's-
these people.
it's really-
Potent,
yeah.
potent stuff going on. Yes.
So
and it doesn't matter where they are, whether
So-
they're
oh,
in the
okay.
disco or in the Taco Bell when they're with one another.
Yeah, I
Fire
guess.
occurs and sparks fly. Danger, high voltage.
So that's
There you go.
I'm guessing this is possibly chronological one evening too.
Probably.
The disco and then heading over to Taco Bell afterwards.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all been there.
Danger, danger. High voltage. When we cut, when we kiss, when we touch. Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch, and when we kiss. Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch, when we kiss, when we touch, when we kiss.
There you go. So the sax and the guitar together
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then it just fades to the guitar. The sax drops on, but they were matching each other at first.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good
always
sound.
a good move.
Yeah. And also the lead guitar player. I don't think he's still in the band anymore, but his name is the Rock and Roll Indian. That's the only name that he was known by. So, and the singer's Dick Valentine. So, a couple good names. But good work, tasteful solo by the Rock and Roll Indian.
Yeah, does the job.
Yeah, there's some more hard rock stuff that lends itself to more hard rock soloing, but
Yeah.
that's the
That was
rock and
that
roll
was a
Indian.
cool a quirky solo where you could tell that there were, whether it was on purpose or whatever, some where the guitar kind of drops out almost like it's a mistake.
Almost like he missed the note.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah, so it just kind of like a quirky, kind of a cool thing to do.
You think he did that intentionally?
I would guess no, but then again, I don't know what spirits the Rock and Roll Indian was conjuring up.
I would think it
So
would be
you
intentional,
automatically
but
assume it's Native American Indian. It could be Middle Eastern.
that's true. I have no idea.
They have spirits too, probably.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're
that's
assuming only Native Americans have spirits.
Yeah, but I know where
Oh, my.
Nick's mind was
This
going
is-
with that.
This is a new low for this podcast.
Really? Lower than
No,
I don't think it is even close.
no.
It could be though
If we keep going,
at
yeah.
it. If I Gilbert Gottfried this thing,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to do, but no, it was good. I like it. It's you could see it in an alternative club, You can see it in a dance club. It's got a lot of, a wide range appeal. You could even probably put it over on Soccer Mom Radio if somebody was able to get this played on it.
Yeah.
You know, some of these
That could work.
some of these repressed housewives. It might bring something out of them.
This is something that I would imagine would be played at like a cool bar, like a brewery. You know, like
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that has like a sort of a punk kind of a vibe to it. They might play horror movies on the TV.
One of the places that doesn't play any sports.
Exactly.
They
yeah.
refuse and they
Yeah.
make it known, which
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about, but I've just been to those places where
Yeah.
we don't play sports.
I was
man.
I was lectured one time. Not that I asked for it whatsoever.
Why were you lectured then if you didn't ask for it? They just came up to you and told you they're not
The,
putting on the World Series or something?
They had one TV, big TV, where everybody was in the bar area,
Yeah.
playing the final game of the Blackhawks 2010 Cup run.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, you're playing Creep Show on the other TV where I'm going to have to sit. Can you put on the Blackhawks? The guy takes a step back. He goes, see, we're not really a sports bar. And he's giving me this whole spiel. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're not a sports bar. Look inside at what's going
Yeah,
on.
turn
right now.
around.
Yeah,
Everyone's watching
there's
sports
two
on the TV.
two people sitting there not watching Creep Show. And then you've got about 50 people in this tiny bar area.
That's right up
with the
there
Blackhawks game
That's
on.
right up there with sophisticated Chicago comedy.
Yeah.
It's like just take a look around you. You know,
Yeah.
have some situational awareness.
And once they put the Blackhawks game on, they became a sports bar, even if just for that day.
Yeah.
You can't say we're not really a sports bar. They're the ones who
And
put
there
it on.
and,
Right,
and if you look
exactly.
in there, you could see why the phenomenon known as the sports bar is a viable
Yeah,
business decision.
right. Everybody gathered around, kept ordering drinks, stayed there longer,
Hey,
spent more money.
Jor's a little heavy tonight.
Yeah, we
I
can't
could-
have this. No more of that.
Yeah, all right, let's keep going.
Don't you wanna know how we keep starting fires? It's my desire. It's my desire. Don't you wanna know how we keep starting fires? It's
Got a little Mike Patton in his delivery right there.
You think so?
Yeah, I heard a little bit.
Well, maybe that's what appeals
But
to me.
I was just gonna say that's
That could be one of the ingredients in there.
Which, yeah, I mean, Nick had his Kiss concert canceled. Now you've got your Bungle and Faith No More appearances.
What the hell's
canceled.
going on around here?
The Jones boys are not having a night tonight.
No, we are not. What a bummer. So you heard that in there, huh?
I did. If you I mean
Play it back.
like,
That section, I didn't hear it. But
I'm thinking I kind of heard "Surprise You're Dead" upon your neck with a fatal like that
okay.
that kind of a delivery that he yeah.
well, don't you wanna know how we keep starting fires? It's my desire. It's my desire. Don't you wanna know how we keep starting fires?
That's
no,
that
I
line
can
that
hear
whole
it.
line sounded like it could have been Mike Patton.
There you go. I hear it now.
It's my desire. It's my desire. Danger, danger. High voltage.
I'm mostly focusing on the big bass pounding up my wazoo the
It's-
whole song.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a great bass line. I was going to comment on that earlier.
It's dance music bass line, right?
yeah, simple, 3 chords, 3 notes.
And it's driving.
Yeah.
When we touch, oh, when we kiss. Danger, danger. It's high voltage. Oh, when we touch, when we kiss, when we touch.
I'm going to pause it. Well, go ahead, Chris.
Dare I say there's a hint of B-52's Fred Schneider in that vocal delivery?
Yeah.
I hear that too.
And just the whole vibe of it that kind of came to me listening to this last stanza.
Yeah, and that's kind of that's a good connection to like what I was saying earlier, that the other song I know by these guys, Gay Bar, he's just yelling, so it could it's like a heavier Fred Schneider
Yeah.
kind of a voice.
That's a good description for gay bar. Heavy Fred Schneider.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to say, upcoming here in a second, maybe my favorite thing that you yell leading into a solo. So,
Oh,
so
all right.
strap
There's
in.
another solo
There's
coming
another
up?
solo. Yeah, second
right.
one.
I'm all for that.
Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch. When we kiss. Danger, danger. High voltage. When we touch. When we kiss. When we touch. When we kiss. Lover.
Lover.
That Lover's good.
Lover's very good.
Yeah, that is good. I didn't quite make it out, but I liked it.
Yeah.
And then into a sax solo. I
Yeah.
mean, that there's no better combo.
Now it's
It's unbeatable to yell Lover into
Yeah.
a sax solo.
yeah, that's good.
You're right. You're right about that.
So that was one of the components that made me choose this song over some of the
Yeah.
others that I think, because this song's repetitive lyrically. I think the whole thing is crafted to be a dance song. The
Well,
others,
of course it is.
and most of the songs are not like that. Even if a handful of them, I would say maybe 60-40 are more hard rock side, and then the others are more on the dance side. But most of them aren't crafted like this song, where it almost seems like, it's like a
They were
it's a
going
beat
for it.
with a bass
Yeah.
line, and then they're going for a dance song, and then
They're going for something that's going to be a hit.
potentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
But two sax solo, one guitar slash sax, and then another just sax solo, yelling Lover. I mean, these were the things that I was like, all right, and picking a dance song over a rock song this month. So
the sax solo kind of reminds me. Now this is a lot. The tempo is a lot slower.
I know what you're gonna say.
Reminds me some of the stuff he was playing reminds me of the Fear song "New York's All Right." If
yeah.
you like saxophones,
Totally, yeah, especially the end.
Yeah.
and some of those notes where it almost sounds like it's blown out. I don't
Yeah.
know what that. There's probably a saxophone term for that, where it like squeals.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think that's technically a flub. You're not supposed to have that. I think it's has something to do with not blowing into the reed properly, but it can add, it can add some flair to something. It's one of those things like the guitar solo. Occasionally a mistake, technically a mistake, you leave it in there because it sounds cool. You know?
yeah, and there's an intensity there.
that too.
It's showing that this person is uber aggressive on their instrument. That's what they want to convey.
Yeah, yet he was playing like very, very. All the notes were coming in time. There wasn't like a lot of fast runs or any like, sometimes. Not that I would ever dislike necessarily a sax solo, but sometimes sax players feel the need to just show off all flash, and this was just like, melodic notes in almost exact. Time with the beat, and then he got a little flashy toward the end there, but leading up to it, it was just very, kind of basic, but, all the notes were there and sounding good, so.
Fire in the disco! Fire in the disco! Fire in the Taco Bell! Fire in the disco! Fire in the disco! Fire in the gates of hell! Gates of hell!
There you go. Descending into chaos.
Yeah, getting very dissonant there, and
And a fade out, too. That's always a welcome nod to the past.
and a sax tone that is reminiscent of the one Sting was able to accomplish on Demolition Man a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm not familiar with that one.
If I'm not mistaken, Sting was the only one who enjoyed that.
Oh,
the
is it one of
studio.
those things where
I remember reading that somewhere that supposedly like he wanted it, he played it, he loved it. Nobody else wanted it on there.
how exhausting would it be to be in the police?
Oh yeah,
These guys just hated each other. Like you're fighting
and,
nonstop.
and nobody's letting go or
Yeah.
or letting.
Yeah, it's amazing they held it together for as long as they did, and at that level of quality and fame
Yeah.
that they just didn't finally just said I've had it, which they did
Yeah.
into the mid '80s, but even leading up to that, it's
You'd think at one night at a bar, they'd be like, I hate these guys. I'm never talking to them again. These guys are the worst. But I don't know. Maybe they knew. They knew something was there.
Well, you went to their reunion show at Wrigley,
Yeah,
right, Nick?
I did.
How was that? And I think we've talked about it before, but again, I can't remember. So.
No, it was great. It was a great show. Played all the hits, and the one song I went away with that brought the house down was "Every Little Thing She Does." And
Yeah.
I mean I like that song. It's not my favorite by them, but that's the one where they were absolutely locked in together, and it just
the crowd
and just-
noticed.
it created a whole atmosphere during that song. Yeah, they still had it.
I would say for me, Ghost in the Machine is their triumph. I mean, Touge has that cover tattooed on him, and Hungry for You, J'irai toujours femme de toi is a quite very horny song.
Extremely.
Keeping in with the theme. So, yeah, that's my favorite one. Isn't Invisible Sun on that as well?
I don't know if I don't
S-U-N or S-O-N?
S-U-N.
I mean, it sounds
S-U-N.
ridiculous.
S-U-N.
That sounds ridiculous, but that's a valid question. With
Yeah.
who
That's
knows?
true.
Like,
I don't know what song. I don't know what album
Considering the
that one's
artist.
on offhand, but I do.
I think it is Ghost in the Machine. It's got Spirits in the Material World, and it's a great album. So, yeah, I can hear some of that. But
well, it's time to vote. I'll vote first since I brought it to the show, and I'm going to give it a sweet surrender.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
I kind of gave some of my reasons, some of my summary during the analysis there, but why I chose it was because I thought I'd go with the hit. There are others. I don't dislike the song in any way, but it's not my favorite song off this album. The song that immediately follows it is called She's White, and that's my favorite song by them.
Interesting.
Maybe top 30 favorite songs by anyone.
wow,
That good. Top 25 even. I don't know, but a damn good song.
quite a juxtaposition to A-B that with Black Girlfriend by Porno for Pyros. That would be interesting.
Could do that.
Point counterpoint, if you will.
But yeah, I picked it.
She's white. Now I've got to go listen to
Oh,
that.
yeah, you do. I hope it comes back for a future episode, but I just thought, considering the month,
Andy, this is your show. You can bring it back for a future episode any damn
that's true.
week you
That's
want.
true. I will do that. then.
Unless it's not your turn.
Well, right. But I'll do that sometime. I just thought for this month, I was going to pick something dancey. Like
Yeah,
I said,
absolutely.
this band, the first time I heard them, there's a song called Electric Demons in Love. That's the song where I thought, oh, this is like a Tom Jones, not impression, but maybe it's do it like Tom Jones. Like someone said that.
So there's such a high percentage of songs that are similar to this in their catalog. It's not
quite.
But it's not a complete.
No,
oddity
it's
in
not.
their
No.
discography.
No, there's a lot of dancey stuff, but
Oh,
it's
I had no
but
idea.
it's like even in this song, you heard that like some of the choruses were heavy. You know, it like builds to a heavier thing. It doesn't
Right.
just stay as like a electronic dance thing. But yep, I'm giving it a sweet surrender. And also, I'll share one more story. I saw them live in 2012, and they did this whole album. One of
wow.
those things.
Yeah.
And they recorded it for a live album called Absolute Pleasure, which is, I think they recorded it from like 2 or 3 shows, but that was one of them. But it was at the Double Door.
Nice.
And I'll say one thing I noticed, because I was familiar with the album, but I'd never seen them. I saw them. A lot of women dancing at a rock and roll show.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
But you don't see it as much as you'd like to.
Yeah. That's
You usually go to shows and you see dudes standing there with their arms folded like Nick right now. But I was just surprised. I'm like, wow, there's a whole bunch of women dancing in here.
Yeah,
So-
these guys have to be one of those like a big cult following kind of a band.
Yeah, I'd
but I
say
don't know
so.
what kind of demographic.
Dancing women.
Dancing women, apparently
That's what they
Not a
went for.
bad
appeal to.
demographic.
No, we tried to get that one. It didn't work.
You should have been the dancing gay man. That was your wheelhouse.
I meant Pot of Thunder,
Oh.
not our band. Yeah, we tried to get the dancing women audience for podcasting. It didn't happen.
No, that was never going to happen.
All right, who wants to
Wouldn't be
vote?
able to see them anyway.
Well, that doesn't matter. You still want the dancing women
Yeah,
audience.
just knowing they're out there dancing is all you need.
Yeah. Who wants to vote next?
I'll go next.
All right.
I'll give it a Sweet Surrender as well.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
It came off to me as one of. It falls in the category like an unapologetically just weird, but really good musically kind of a thing. Like a combination where they could have been going strict radio kind of a song, but they threw in enough stuff that's a little bit out there that maybe
I don't think they can help that.
Maybe a typical producer would say like, yeah, we don't need that if we really want this thing to be as big as it can be. But they, all the weird dissonant stuff at the end, and
I think those ingredients are just going to happen if you listen to the whole album. Like that's just
Yeah.
If that's not there, there's something wrong.
but that's, I guess then that's how this band is. So
Yeah.
they've got. It's I guess I'm gonna say the word subversion again. I mean it's like where you've got this, you play the music and kind of like most of the lyrics. Not I mean I would think the Taco Bell thing would be gone if you wanted it to be like a huge radio hit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But then you leave the weird stuff, some of the weird stuff in. And it's like, okay, these guys can do that. The stuff that people despise. That's
Yeah.
it's it's not cool enough for them if it's on the radio, but they add a little weirdness to it. So that's very interesting. It's a little, I guess it's a little bit of like a punk attitude, I guess.
Well, sure. There's that element of it, indie rock, whatever you want to say. But
Rock and roll indie.
yeah, a lot of elements of everything that's pretty good out there. So, Sweet Surrender for me for sure.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. I enjoyed that, having never heard it before. But I mean, you can't resist that beat and all that other good stuff going on. And I think once I made the connection to B-52s, I liked it even more. And that's the kind of tune, if you're of college age or shortly after, you throw that on at a party, chicks are going to start dancing, things are going to start happening.
Right.
It's and it's got the Jack White alternative rock credibility in there, and the saxophone, which of course always makes everything better. And I really enjoyed that. And yes, the simplistic, repetitive lyrics, though, speak to the very core of horniness, the interpersonal chemistry that exists between two people, and it's addressed very potently in that song, and whimsically and fun and all that good stuff.
So the whimsy didn't rub you the wrong way.
It didn't here, because it wasn't overdone, But the way they, saying kiss like Paul Stanley would in the 70s, just there's little hints of humor, but it's not like over the top. Like you don't get the sense that they're clowns, that they're serious about the music, but they're also serious about putting out a fun vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw them, I didn't get the clown vibe from the presentation. Like they're guys in suits, and the guy might say some weird stuff once in a while, but it wasn't like a clown show. Like they're a very good live band and presented themselves pretty seriously, professionally, I should say.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. All right. I didn't think we'd be here, but here we are.
You didn't think we'd be?
I wasn't sure.
I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley needs to know if Danger High Voltage is a rock and roll boner classic, as voted by not one, not two, but all three rock and roll boners in this room at this very moment. He's got to know. 2003, this is what was happening. Does it get the stamp of a rock and roll boner classic? What was Paul Stanley doing in 2003? Touring with Aerosmith or something, I think. Fighting with Joe Perry. Well, actually, I don't think Joe Perry had a problem with that. I think it was just Steven Tyler and Kiss.
I think Joey Kramer
Him too?
had a thing.
How did he?
Like, I could be
Did they give
wrong.
him bad coffee? He got mad.
I can make better coffee than this, he said.
I'll show you guys. He went home immediately after the tour into his laboratory. And got some rockin' and rollin' coffee or whatever it's called. It's just rockin' coffee. I forgot. Joey Kramer's rockin' coffee.
Yeah, man. We were just talking about hot sauces earlier.
Yeah, Joe Perry had his hot sauces out around that time.
Yeah, I've only had the Mad Anthony's. That's the only rock star hot
Is
sauce.
that any good?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Our buddy Rich sent me a message today. I guess the Alice Cooper hot sauce.
Poison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know
Saw a
where
bit
it's
about
available,
that.
but I would try. I think the No More Mr. Nice Guy would be my heat level.
Yeah. What's the extreme heat level?
I think Poison was the
Yeah.
the hottest one. Oh, Andy's got it up.
I'm showing you
Oh,
this
he's got-
picture of
he's got
Joey
something.
Kramer, Chris. This rockin' and roastin' coffee promo photo. He looks like the singer from Crazy Town.
Come, lady. Come.
At least he's not licking someone's face and
Oh,
in the
God,
coffee.
what a smarmy creep that guy is. Not Joey necessarily, but
He's back now, right?
who knows what's going on with those old farts? I mean, seriously, Joe Perry collapsing on stage with the vampires and all this stuff. It's like you gotta yank the plug at some point. No more.
Enjoy the beach.
No more,
Jeez.
no more.
And if you're Joey Kramer, do you really come back after the way they fucking embarrassed you publicly?
I think you do for the payday and for the prestige.
Man,
I
how much
think you
more
do.
money is there to be had?
Yeah.
I guess there's plenty, but at some point, your dignity has got to
Yeah.
override your quest for dollars.
See, if that just happened behind closed doors, that's one thing. But there's video that everybody's seen of him locked out of their rehearsal space trying to get in.
Exactly.
Like,
Nothing happens behind the scenes anymore.
He should have attacked whoever had the camera and never to be heard from again. He'd be a legend.
Exactly. It's like I'm Joey fucking Kramer.
Yeah.
You're not gonna embarrass me.
Yeah. All right. I'll vote first. Who wants to vote second and third?
I'll go second.
I guess that means Nick's third. I was waiting
Oh.
for Nick to say I'm third, and then I realized, wait, there's not a fourth
Well-
guy today. For some reason, my mind was elsewhere.
I guess I should make that clear.
I had Joey Kramer on the mind. I was thinking about
You were-
what kind of punny.
You're percolating over there.
I was thinking of roast names. What kind of brew? Okay.
What would your coffee be called?
I don't know.
I bet, knowing Andy, the word beans would be part of
It
it.
would have to be, yeah. Well, could go with the ALB theme, America's Little Beans.
There you
Perfect.
When is that going to
Nice
be out
cup
now?
of
Yeah.
America's Little Beans.
Andy's little bean bag would be more
That'd be
appropriate, I
perfect.
think.
That'd be perfect.
And then he can do a Keurig pod of thunder.
Oh my
Ah,
god!
there you
Look at
go.
that. Why haven't we done that yet?
Yeah, that's
Because
a
no one would buy
no-brainer.
it. That's the thing with all these hot sauces and wines and coffees. I know we've talked about this, but it's just like a cycle of graphic design, and the flavors are the same.
Well, it's all. I mean, it's what they call white label. It means like the same companies produce all of it with maybe slight differences to it, but you know, it's the same company just slapping somebody else's branding on it. You know, it's not like there are that many places churning out wines and hot sauces and stuff. It's like they're white labeling it.
I remember hearing that. I think it was Juliana Rancic's label, her wine label. They just this was a story that I heard that they took off the Ditka's wine label off of a bunch of cases and then rebranded it with hers. They just,
Sure.
like however they steam remove them, and it's like onto the next person, whoever it is. It's the same shit. There's a red one and a white one, and it's still good, and it's not selling. So let's put on the next celebrity name and see what happens.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
Who are we at now?
Oh, the situation. I don't know who needs. I don't know anything about that, but it's usually someone who's like peaked about a decade before, and then they come out with a wine.
Yeah.
No one at their peak has time to put out a wine or a
No,
coffee.
that's true. They don't. No up and comers are putting out wine.
or that either. Yeah.
Right, it's a desperate attempt to latch onto something. I mean, nobody with good financial advisement would nobody, a quality business manager would not say, "Hey, put out some wine. That's a good idea." I mean, it just doesn't happen.
It's a bad idea. huh?
Open a restaurant. That's a great idea. No, it's not really.
No. It's their last-ditch efforts.
Yeah,
to
and
do
it's,
these things.
Just another way for these people to bulk or bilk the celebrity out of their money. They open a restaurant and they just steal all their money flowing through it, and next thing you know, they're penniless.
Yep. Happens time and time
It
again.
really does.
All right. You guys ready to vote?
Yep.
All right. Rock.
Roll.
Boner.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a rockin' the ball, yeah.
What's it called when three people sing instead of a duet? It's a
Trio.
trio, I guess. But would you,
Three-part harmony.
when you
I don't
call
know.
this would be a duet, but it would be Jack White, Dick Valentine, and Pete Weber.
Pete
All could have
Weber.
been yelling at the
That's
same
true.
time on that song, and it would have worked.
You could just play that clip over any part of that song, and it would
been-
make sense.
It would have been fine.
With the crowd noise.
I'm
the
surprised somebody
bowling-
hasn't created like a house music, hard dance song with just the vocal outbursts of Pete Weber. Maybe that's something we should attempt.
It should be.
Yeah.
You could use the pins crashing as like a sample with the snare drum.
Exactly. Just the Tourette's-esque outbursts over a dance beat would be great.
Could be a hit. We could finally be
The
making
next
some money. in here.
the modern day fire starter, that type of vibe.
Yeah. The original, not the Gene Simmons version.
No, let's have some respect.
Yeah, eventually we have to pull that one though with the video, Firestarter
boy.
video.
I don't think I've ever seen the
Oh, honey.
Yeah. Ooh,
video. Yeah. I'm not even sure I've heard his version all the way through. I remember hearing what was is there a title track to Asshole?
There is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
that I'm pretty sure I've heard that, but yeah, we might have to game the system and do that with next time Jericho's around. That would be worth it.
that would be with video.
Which,
yeah.
by the way, we have an incredible video watch-along episode coming up next month that we recorded when he was in town. Wasn't expecting a lot of that, but boy, what a video! Yeah, so
That was a
we've got
great
that
one.
to look forward to. In addition to week 4 of September, but I enjoyed that, and I'm intrigued to. Now that I've fully embraced Spotify, I don't feel the need to like pay for downloads anymore. I've got my Spotify membership. I can
Okay.
listen to any album I want at will. I'm always a late adopter to the latest way to consume music, but I'm fully on board with
Are you? Okay.
Spotify these days.
Okay.
So I can check it out whenever I feel like it. And I think I'm going to do that.
I'll remind you to check it out. A lot of good ones on there.
Good. Plus, I've got to hear a song called She's White.
Oh,
I
it's
just
the
simply have
best.
to hear it.
The best.
And Black Girlfriend by Porno for Pyros. Make a playlist.
A yin and yang playlist.
That could work. All right. Well, if you disagree, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Paul Anka would be
I
into
almost
that.
Gottfrieded that last comment by Nick. I had to hold myself back.
I felt something happening.
Something
I had a
was-
good one.
something
I had a
was
good
brewing.
one. I had a really good one. I'm not saying it. I'll say it after we stop recording.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's everybody calm down. Let's cool it for.
Let's we don't have to turn the fire extinguisher on Chris.
All
here.
right. No.
Let's give him a minute.
Yeah, we'll give him a minute. We'll take a break for these words. And we're back. What'd you think, Nick? Was
Such
that
words.
so many, several words,
Lovely
each
words
one
strung
chosen,
together.
Each one chosen carefully.
Yeah. I mean, this was a commercial that went through a lot of sweat, a lot of pain, a lot of artistic vision was maintained there. No compromise. Simply lovely.
You could say that was music to your lips. Oh wait, that's the Joey Kramer coffee slogan. Sorry.
Let the I don't know.
It actually
let the,
is. I
let
just
the
saw it.
coffee do the talking or something.
That would
like
be better, but it's music to your lips is what it says.
I'll go
on
with
the
that.
bag.
Is that what it said?
That's
For
what it
real?
says on the bag. All right, guys. Do you find that a little underwhelming?
No, I'm thinking
like
that
it?
music for your lips, music to your lips.
To
is
your
that it?
lips. Yeah. That's right.
Could be a nice slogan on another type of bag if you think about it.
Andy's little beanbag.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go. It's happening. Fire up the Photoshop, someone. Let's get this happening. All right. Here we go. It's time, guys. Come on.
Yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them! Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
I just noticed.
What's that?
The delivery is it's not the same delivery, but you've got Jim Brown saying I give them, and then you've got Paul Stanley saying I got something I want to give them.
Are you saying there's some connection between those two?
Maybe yeah.
Channeling Jim Brown or vice versa.
I'm not sure which one would be the chicken and which would be the egg in that situation. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm reading this article about Joey Kramer's coffee. All right, so it's time for a Yard O Questions. That's when you, the listener, goes to potofthunder.com, clicks that widget, and submits not one, not two, but 3 questions that Nick and Chris will answer for you. Going through some here.
He could have had a taste of India, like an exotic blend from Asia.
That would be good.
I mean, I'm just thinking of so many different directions he could go in coffee-wise.
They spent no time on it, unfortunately. Music to your lips.
Yeah, that's
That's a good first question. Okay. Let me see if I like this. I might go back to that one. Give me one more here. Okay.
when you order a case, it comes with a free harmonica in the coffee.
A honkin' on Bobo.
A honkin' on Bobo blend.
Do a little variation like the pods. You have the different flavors. Honking on cocoa.
The hot chocolate one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because you get the you can get the hot chocolate in there.
Could have a strawberry steamer just called Pink.
Oh, jeez. You can go on and on with that, probably.
All right. We'll go with this one. Come on, you. Come on now.
What do you got? What's going on over there?
Trying to pick a winner. Okay, here we go. So this Yardo Questions comes to us from Tanis O'Connell.
Oh, Tanis. He's submitted a yard of questions before, correct?
Yeah, he has.
Tanis Ball O'Connell.
The Tanis ball. Childish taunting, I'm sure he dealt with.
Which he just got from this podcast from a 54-year-old man. So, as it should be.
Well, right now we're about to shut up in Tanis.
There you go.
Andy's big catchphrase, I'd say, from this
Shut up
podcast.
and tan.
Shut up and tan has followed you around.
That was big.
And that the tanning had an Aerosmith connection for Andy.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Tana says, hello, fellas. No beating around the bush. Straight to the questions.
That's how we like it.
What are your favorite nicknames in sports and otherwise? A personal favorite of mine is infamous NHL draft bust Hugh Jesseman. Drafted 12th overall by the Rangers, he finished his career with 2 games played and 0 points, but one great nickname, Huge Specimen. That is a damn good nickname. It says he was 6'6", 225. So Hugh Jesseman was known as Huge Specimen. That is incredible.
Is good. I like that. I never heard of him or that. But someone of similar stature in baseball, Randy Johnson, a.k.a. the Big Unit, was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they called him a unit, but, well, you know, you can make your assumptions there. But Link Getz, the Missing Link, was a good one. One of the celebrated goons of the NHL. Remember him?
Well, I know the name. I think that was a little before my time, but I know of him. But the Missing Link is great for a hockey goon.
Yes, it is.
A caveman bashing people.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Or whatever, caveman. Some prehistoric evolutionary specimen. Huge specimen. What do you got, Nick?
I mean, you can't get better than Sweetness. Just being called Sweetness,
No, you
as
can't.
Walter Payton was.
And it's well deserved.
Yeah,
obviously.
and there's no better sports nickname or nickname at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ones where the guys like hate the nickname, but it's attached to them.
Someone else gave it to them and it
You
won't
got
go
an
away.
example?
Well, I know that they always say Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't care for being called Shoeless.
He didn't like that nickname.
No, it just he thought it was dumb that they were holding on to that. There's a more modern example, but I can't think of who it is. There are a couple examples. Nails is another good one.
Lenny Dykstra.
Lenny Dykstra.
Oh, that's a good one.
Simply being called Nails.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, my favorite athlete of all time, Thomas Hearns. He had 2 nicknames. The best one, of course, is the Hitman. Mm-hmm. And there were certain people certain individuals of influence in the city of Detroit back then who thought it was negative connotation to have, the city's hero, implying assassinations and, executions and whatnot. So somebody concocted the name, which isn't bad, the Motor City Cobra.
That's a good
But
name.
That's good.
the Hitman it's Thomas the Hitman Hearns, period.
All right. Question 2. When you're driving in your car, where do you like to have your audio levels set in order to have the music sound optimal? When I was younger, I always had the bass turned way up, but my old ears can no longer take it. I was hoping with your musical backgrounds, you might have some insight.
Not really. I mean, some bass is good. I usually have it, I don't know, if the bass level goes up to 10, I'll have it at like a 4. Like I usually
Really?
don't, it's not overpowering, and I can't stand when things are too trebly though, so I have to take that down a bit.
Just turn everything down.
Just turn it all down.
And then
Oh, that's good. I have a weird thing where I have to have it at an even number. for the volume.
You know, I've known people who are the same way. They can't stop the digit on an odd number.
Yeah, that I
So
have.
if it's like 27, you're going to 28
or 26. Yeah, that
No, I've known several people who've said that to me.
yeah, whatever condition
Very
that is.
interesting.
I've got it.
Yeah.
When I microwave things, I can't do straight 2 minutes. It's like 2:11. I always have to do something.
So that's the opposite.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to say, like,
No.
you have to make sure, which would be easier, to make it an even number with the
No,
microwave.
it
but
doesn't make any sense.
That is strange.
You're,
Never heard
you're
that
an
one.
enigma, Nick.
Yeah.
Actually, the only other person who told me the same thing about themselves was
Tom.
Tom Howell, who was also and
We've
two
discussed-
guitar players in the same band had the same bizarre microwave habits.
We've discussed this.
Okay.
That is interesting. I've never heard the microwave thing.
Something must have happened to
I
you
have
guys
heard-
together that we don't know about.
I have heard the car audio, specifically car audio, where it's got to be an even number.
Yeah, there's an unreasonable anxiety that comes over at the prospect of me leaving it on an odd number.
Yeah.
It's respectable, though.
For me, I've got it like so. If you say the flat setting is 5, yeah, the flat never sounds good to me. I usually have my treble around 8 and my bass around 7. The boost on each one.
Spoken like a true guitar player.
Well, you
I
know.
don't know, just bullshit.
I just, for some reason, the boosted treble, unless it's obscenely boosted, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I need it to have that kind of sizzle on the top of it. But to do that without boosting the bass as well wouldn't work for me. So
What if there's mid? Where's your mid?
mid, I like to. Mid is, I would say, is better. Closer to flat, because when you start boosting mids, it sounds kind of boxy. That's what like guitar players hate it when they're playing by themselves. There's a lot of mid range because it sounds boxy, but in a band mix you want that because it cuts you through. But for pre-recorded music, a mid range sounds fine, just flat.
What about left, right, front, back? Left, right, I'm assuming right down the middle, but what about your front, back?
I like to let it go to the back a little bit more.
I'm the same way.
Someone told me that 25 years ago, I don't know how many years ago, and I've always subscribed to that without ever thinking why, to put it slightly more in the back.
Don't know. Just prefer it that way.
Same here. Yep.
Well, there you go, Tanis. I hope that helps you with your car audio setup. Question 3. I've heard Nick and Chris talk about STP and Motorhead as a couple of their favorite bands multiple times. Similar to my experience with Kiss before finding this pod, these are bands that I have a cursory knowledge of, but nothing more. What are some deeper cuts from their respective catalogs that you would recommend to a new listener? Thank you for the continued effort to keep the pod going. Long live the Bozo Pewter. Well, it'll be back in October, but the Bozo Pewter's taking the month off for horny September.
Well, that's funny that he brings up a deep cut by Motorhead. My initial choice was a deep cut by Motorhead for this month.
Oh, that's right. You told me that last week.
Yeah.
I think I
2
know what
weeks
it is, but I won't say it.
You could say it.
Be My Baby.
That was in the running, but it was actually Love for Sale.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, so I would go with that. I got started on like really kind of getting into Motorhead, like actually buying albums on the Inferno album. So I would say go to that one.
Well, aren't you supposed to be answering the STP question?
Oh, I thought we could each do both.
I'm not that familiar with STP deep cuts to have a definitive answer there, but
I guess it depends what he's looking for. If he wants something heavy, go to number 4, I would say.
any particular tracks?
Sex and Violence, MC5, Down.
Well, Down's not really a deep cut.
No,
It
not a
was the
deep
first
cut. I guess
single off that album, right?
Sex or Violence. I think it's Sex and Violence. MC5 is another good one. So if you're looking for something heavy, I'll go with that. I'm assuming, since you brought up Motorhead on the other hand.
Yeah. Motorhead is, I would say, my favorite pound for pound Motorhead album is 1916. And I say that because it's the best combination of songs, production, and the presence of Filthy. Doesn't have Fast Eddie on it, but it has Filthy. I think obviously Mickey D is off the chart. You want a deep cut off Inferno, Suicide. That opening drum roll he does that it goes forward and then reverse is mind-boggling. But Filthy is the one who brought that trashy sort of punk rock element to Motorhead to me, and it's an overlooked album, so I would say just take your pick off of any song on there. Technically a deep cut, but I would say Shut You Down off 1916 is probably my favorite Motorhead deep cut of all time.
No, it wasn't a deep cut, but the first Motorhead song that I ever heard and was like, oh, I really like this, was actually Beavis and Butthead. We're watching No Voices in the Sky.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Another one from 1916. Yeah, that is a good one. Another one's coming to mind, Riding with the Driver off of Orgasmatron. Check that one out. That's a good one. Those would be my two recommendations.
Alrighty. Thank you to Tanis.
Yeah.
Something stuck there.
Thank you, Tanis. Those are good questions.
And if you want to submit your Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com. Like I said, click that widget, enter not one, not two, but 3 questions, and we'll potentially choose them and answer them on the show, unless you ask something that doesn't get past the gatekeeper. That's me.
So next week, what are we doing?
I was going to ask you, what's the plan for next week? It's the last Monday in September. What do we do?
How do we roll in February?
Well, I believe it's dealer's choice, and the dealer is Nick.
It's dealer's choice, but it's a song by the individual for whom the month is named.
That's correct. So
it's all ready. It's all set.
Has that been ready for over a year since the February concept was planted? That seed was planted?
You mean the song?
Yeah.
No, this song I only found when this month was coming up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to look around because I know a decent amount of his material, but I wanted to...
You found one that is perfect.
He's been around forever, so I wanted to listen to more of that. Yeah, and I think I found one that's going to fit the bill.
Song of horniness, we can safely say?
Yes.
Horny man?
Yes.
All right. I want to ask more questions, but I'll just stop myself. Don't want to know too much.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask
just
you.
enjoy it next week. That's all I say.
All right. I'll ask you later. And I'm also going to ask Chris what he was going to say. That was going to be a nuclear bomb for the show that he couldn't drop earlier. So, with that interest in mind.
And if we had a Patreon, this would be all available to you people.
Yeah, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you get the jokes that would... Well, I wouldn't say get us fired because there's no such thing, but
too hot for the broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like those old Jerry Springer tapes. All right. Well, we will be back next week with more Pot of Thunder, celebrating the king of horny, Tom Jones himself.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is September.